Welcome to the Empower Women Show with Jane Trimble, the show that elevates and promotes women in the community by sharing their story and showcasing their business. With me in the studio today, I have Luanne Schlosser from Lunova Law. Welcome, Luanne.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
You're so welcome. Thank you for coming. Why don't we start with just share who you are, where you're from, and what it is that you do.
Sure. So my name's Luanne, and I'm born and raised in Saskatchewan. I was born in a northern community called Meadow Lake.
Cool.
And shortly after being born, we moved to Saskatoon.
Yeah.
And I grew up here, and aside from some sessional educational bits in Montreal, I went to school here.
Okay, cool. At the University of
Saskatchewan, yeah, for my undergrad and for law school.
Okay, cool. Law school. So you're a lawyer?
I am a lawyer, yes.
And you are the founder of Lunova Law.
Yes,
correct?
yes, that's right. So that came about in 2020, just before the pandemic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great time, good times.
Great. I mean, realistically, when people ask me that, I have to cringe a bit. Great times for me, because the whole premise was a virtual law firm where we could deliver services. We didn't have to be in office. We could represent clients across Canada because we didn't have to be face to face. So it was really about leveraging technology to provide services, so to be efficient. And that was the whole premise. And then literally 2 or 3 weeks after I launched, we got that declared pandemic, worldwide pandemic. And so a lot of people, you know, they felt sorry for me. They said, you must be so upset. You know, this pandemic, you're just launching a business. I said, this is fantastic.
Yes.
Everyone else is scrambling and I was set up. So I hate to say that, because the pandemic was really tough for a lot of businesses.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine going through that. But for me, the timing was right on.
It sure was. So it's a virtual law company, which is genius, because we're all online now.
Yes,
since COVID. And so, yeah, I'm so happy for you that COVID worked out for you.
I know.
What gave you the idea prior to COVID for it to be virtual? Was there a gap in the market for that?
I think there were a number of factors. I think for sure there was a gap in the market. But for me, I had worked at 2 other law firms. Both were wonderful. You know, my first law firm, I learned, you know, how to practice law in a number of areas and really got my feet underneath me. And then, you know, after a while, I thought, if I want to really practice in IP, tech, privacy, that sort of law, I need to go maybe to a more larger firm, national scope. So I went to a larger firm and got my hands on some significantly challenging but interesting files. Spent some time in the Toronto and Vancouver offices with that firm and got to represent some really interesting clients.
Cool.
But with a national firm also comes national overhead.
Yeah.
And, you know, there came a point where it didn't make sense. I had a great list of clients I was doing work for exclusively, and that overhead and just the way that business was done sometimes didn't align with how I wanted to practice. And so I decided, you know, there were many factors, but the biggest was that I was kind of stuck feeling like I wasn't being my true self. Was always sort of practicing a bit apologetically, you know, having to sort of quietly say I had something on the side going on, and it just didn't work out as well as I wanted it to. So, you know, practicing on my own terms is very alluring.
Yes, I bet it was. You got your own rules.
Mm-hmm.
But that would have taken a lot of courage, I would imagine, to go from the security of big firm to, hey, I'm going to start with my own thing.
Yes. So going for, you know, 10 years of a very healthy salary and structures in place and support staff in place and colleagues and, you know, all that comfort, and sort of throwing it to the wind and going, let's try something new and let's see if this works for me, because what's going on right now is not working as well as I want it to.
Wow.
So it's been challenging, but it's been a lot of fun.
Oh, good for you. That is really inspiring, and I hope many people who are watching this are inspired by your story. So you talked about it wasn't aligning with your values. What are your values? You know, what was it?
I'm probably not a typical lawyer, probably not the one they would put on the partnership brochure. You know, when I first started practicing, I was very blonde and very pink.
Okay.
And that was not maybe well received all the time. And I ran another business. I have an Irish dance school. So that was
cool.
Not always well received. And, you know, probably felt misunderstood there. And then moved to another firm where it was sort of equally stoic and, you know, very tied up into the traditional values of how law is practiced. And not a lot of appetite for, the question of why do we do it this way?
Yeah.
So I kind of felt at times, I don't know if you've ever seen Toy Story.
Yeah.
But I felt like one of those misfit toys.
Yes.
The head on the spider legs.
Yeah.
Terrifying, and no one really knew what to do with me. But I also had a lot of creative ideas and a bit of genius to approach problems in a different way. So,
love it.
Yeah.
So cool. So what are some of the different ways that you do practice law? Like, what is it that makes Lunova so distinctive, apart from being virtual? But like, what is it that Lunova does
so
differently?
We do really like working with emerging businesses.
Cool.
Our line of work is really focused on IP, so trademark, copyright, and tech work, which is generally a very male line of law. Yeah. We are, as far as I know, the only women-based firm in Saskatchewan that's providing IP services on the scale that we're providing. The firm is entirely woman-owned, woman-ran. All the employees are women, and it's not done intentionally, but it's just really, those are the people who get the job done.
Yes.
So that's very unique to have these women in, a tech-focused, IP-focused area, which is generally male-dominated.
Yeah.
And just the way we provide services as well. We understand that not everyone has 9-to-5 schedules, so we do keep weird hours.
Yeah.
And it works both ways. We have strange hours. Sometimes our clients have strange hours.
Yeah.
We do some fixed fee pricing for certain services so that there's certainty for businesses who are starting up who need that certainty.
Yes.
They can't just, get a $50,000 bill and
Yes.
have that right off at the beginning of their business.
Yes, exactly. I like that. I like that it's accessible for people that are starting out. And you run an Irish dancing school alongside this.
Yes.
So what's that all about?
So I've been doing Irish dancing since I was nine years old. Yeah. And I love it. Yeah. It's always been a part of me. When I was a child, people would ask me to, introduce myself. And I always defined myself as I'm Luanne, I'm an Irish dancer.
Yeah.
And so it's something that's near and dear to me, and I love it.
Yeah.
And that was another thing that was very difficult in my early years of practice, is sort of justifying that I had this passion on the side, which was also a business. It was fine if it was a passion, but it seemed for some people, as soon as I was making money at it, that was a conflict. So I've had this all along.
Why was it a conflict?
I'm not sure. Some of the male colleagues could, go into politics or could have side businesses, but for whatever reason, it was a bit of a conflict. And, for me, I did want to still practice in that space. I wanted to be a dance teacher. I wanted to be a business owner there. So I've kept that going on. And actually just recently, I've merged programming with another Irish dance school in the city.
Nice.
With 2 wonderful women who will be joining forces this year. So it's going to be a larger group of women working together. We were really competition for each other for years and years. And we decided to, combine forces and become greater together than, fighting for business and students, when we could come together and offer something more.
Agreed, totally. One of the things that we say here on the Empower Women show is like kindness over comparison, compassion over competition, character over ego. And these are all the types of words that I love to use in terms of ushering it. This is why I like working with women.
Yes.
If we can have that elevated emotional intelligence and bring that to the table, we are stronger together.
Absolutely. And I already feel it. We've announced this merger just at the end of June, and already, we are able to sort of divide and conquer on the admin for the dance school. And they have areas where they shine. I have areas where I shine. And already it feels like a burden has been lifted.
Yes.
It's inspiring. And I'm really excited for this season. And it's going to create some space too for my law practice, which is booming. I mean, we have clients coming in every day, and it's exciting, but at some point, I sometimes have to pinch myself, and I go, am I always going to have this much work? I don't know.
I know it's hard when you run your own business
to
believe that it will.
Right, and you don't want to turn the tap off, but at some point you have to go, okay, is this humanly possible? Perhaps not. Maybe I need to take a slow down for a bit.
And I looked at your Instagram, and one of your quotes on there was happiness is an inside job, and you do talk on your socials about having those boundaries and creating space for yourself. Do you want to talk a little bit about that? Like, how do you balance those things, the personal and the professional? How do you do it?
Right, very much a work in progress, which I'm sure you can understand. You know, and balance is something different every day, right? What might feel balanced today is not maybe going to be balanced tomorrow. So it's constantly evaluating and checking in with yourself. And lately, especially this year, I'm trying to learn how to say no.
It's a hard word to say, isn't it?
It's a hard word to say because I feel like I'm that girl who always wants to be, you know, yes, and it's okay, I'll take care of it. But, you know, that there have been moments, especially this year, where I felt very run down and sort of some reality checks health-wise, you know, is this healthy for you, and what do you need to do for yourself? So checking in, making space, and knowing when to say no. But again, it's a work in progress. I'm by no means an expert.
Yeah. What would you say, you know, to somebody that is starting out their journey and perhaps wants to become a lawyer and starting on their professional journey? What would you wish somebody said to you as a young woman starting out in her professional career?
It's okay to be different.
Nice.
It's okay to be different, and it's okay to feel like you're too much, and it's okay to feel like you don't fit the typical archetype of a lawyer. Because for so many years I tried to fit into what I thought I should be and what others thought I should be, and it was like a third job in my mind, auditing and thinking, how do I have to act for this? I could not just do my work. Instead of just, you know, focusing on the legal tasks, I was focusing on, what do they think of what I'm wearing today? What do they think how I'm speaking, how I'm dressed, what my hair looks like? Because those were all real things that I did stress about in my early years because I didn't fit that typical sort of lawyer package.
Yeah. That's very powerful. I hope many people, not just in the realm of law, but in many professional environments, I don't think you're alone in your experience of that.
No, I don't think so either. But I think just realizing that it's, you know, it's okay to be different in the sense that you might not get the job you think you should have. But that's okay, because you'll end up where you should be.
It's also why I personally believe entrepreneurship is kind of the way forward for a woman to have agency over her life. Financial literacy is a way a woman will be able to make her own choices in line with her values.
Absolutely. And there's no better education than entrepreneurship in my mind.
I love it. Thank you so much for coming on the show today and sharing about who you are and what you do. I feel a power behind what you do, and it comes from inside. You're a queen.
Thank you. You as well.
Thank you. Until next time. Queens belong on thrones. Let's put them there. Effective social media marketing is so much more than posting pretty pictures on Instagram and Facebook. Undercover Creators are a female-owned social media marketing company in Saskatoon. Find them at undercover-creators.com.